The last thing that I'm going to teach today is going to be transitions. Transitions can be used in many different ways. As you saw in the previous slide, you can use them to give examples, you can use them to add on, you can use them for comparing and contrasting. You may also use them for cause and effect. We're going to take the paragraph that I've already started. It has the topic sentence. Actually, it has two sentences that are the topic sentence. And then it has the true example of what they use to hunt food. So, very simply, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the paragraph and find a place where I could use a transition phrase. Like I said, I'm using an example, so I might use the examples that were on the previous page. So, Paleo-Indians were hunters and gatherers. Without tools for hunting and gathering, they would not have survived. Paleo-Indians use spears for food. So I see that now I'm using an example. So instead of saying Paleo-Indians again, and it sounds very repetitive if you keep repeating the same topic, instead of that, I'm going to say, for example, they used spears to hunt food. These spears were made out of many different materials. I could even use a transition phrase. Instead of some of the materials, I could say some examples of those materials. And I just have to delete some of the other part of the sentence here. So some of the examples of those materials were stone-based and mineral-based, but many others were made purely out of wood. The Paleo-Indians hunted many mammals with these spears. That's sort of a different topic, and I'm actually using another transitional part, but since it's another topic, I'm actually going to create a new paragraph out of that. So the Paleo-Indians hunted many mammals with these spears. The Indians were nomadic people, which means they traveled following their needs, and their needs were mainly food-based. A couple instead of saying some, I'm going to say a couple different examples of the larger animals they hunted were mammoth, deer, and other four-legged animals such as wolves and fox. So I took what I had. I took my topic sentence, which is going to be up here, the two sentences up there, and instead of keeping on using the exact same phrases, I used transitional phrases to go from the topic sentence into my examples. So I used for example, and I used for example in some examples and a couple examples many different times, but it's showing that there's a transition between the topic and examples of what those are.